Hello, people, and welcome to watch the third out of the four total quarterfinal matches of the second season of the Carcassonne Champions League. We have streamed now two of them. Yesterday, one between Napalm Eye and Pakshay, and one between Vladimir Kovalev and Pavel Hudek, both of which coincidentally ended up being a 5 game long matches, so going all the way to a decider, and they both provided a lot of exciting things to see. Welcome to Helge and Kaika. Yzemaze should be with a lowercase y. I am aware of that. That's probably the YouTube headline that I have, but because usually you do write names with a capital Y. I decided to make an exception for the headline. You know, just for the for the sake of readability for everyone. But as you can see, at least on the scoreboard up there, it is written with a lowercase y. So if Utsi has a problem with that, he can mention that to me, like, I don't know, after his match, that he really wants to use the lowercase y. But well, this is what we are gonna go with now. um, Both players today have won their own respective groups. Isloun actually with the best overall win-lose rate, win-lose ratio in the group stage, with 5 total matches won and with 10 games won and 2 games lost, whereas all the other players who won all their games, Samuelsson um, and then Alexei, both won 10 games and lost 3. So Isloun so far actually with the best win-lose ratio, I believe. Though the round of 16 could have affected that, but the situation is still the same. Uh, Everyone with 5. Well, actually not. Well, the situation is that Islun is in the quarterfinals and some others are not. So, as a matter of fact, Islun looking to be putting up a massive early lead on the scoreboard with 6 meeples in his hand and 30 points to 4, which is not something, not a start you see every day. And he is going to put those meeples into a good use. Meeples a 9-point field, and at the same time more or less attacks the 9-point field of Utse. Utse in the meanwhile trying to rack up points with a arguably a a bit courageously invested 2 meeples on this small city with a 4-point road and then another loop road worth 4 points, and also a city of his own. Focuses on taking 2 quick points with his 1 meeple. He's gonna be somewhat careful of where he uses that, even though he has meeples in easily recoverable spots. It doesn't mean that he can be all that reckless with his meeples, especially with isloun having 4 of those in hand. And in all likelihood, I think we are going to be seeing isloun dropping more farmers whenever that is the most convenient for him, meaning whenever he gets a bit less valuable tiles than a city crossroad. So with this, I assume isloun is going to be just simply taking 2 points here, here, here. Yeah, in one of these 3 spots. Probably, actually, I have to say that here would be the top spot for taking 2 points. Or he could alternatively also maybe even just go here simply. And even though that will finish the... Ah, even though it will finish the road of Itze, it's gonna give isloun a shot to equalize this city, but this is not really something that I had in mind. I mean, I think this is a bit unnecessary, to be honest. Like, why take potential 5 points when you can take 2 points without a meeple investment? It's a little reckless, but it's still the early part of the game, and there are many tiles that still fit in this square. Well, namely, actually now 5 after this restriction with the cow tile. So now only 1 dagger that fits here, as well as 4 road Doritos. Ooh. Do we now go here as isloun? Because that is the best possible restriction that we can do to this city. It does decide to not go for it, and it can be justified. I mean, we can still find just very simply a curve over here. Ah, wise man is playing the wise man. Um, now that this quad crossroad is gone, the reason wise man takes the 2 points here and seemingly expands his own city is that because he knows that the 2 splitters are still in the deck, as he manages to pull into his hand 1 of them, and he knows that with the quad crossroad gone, this square was completely impossible to block. It was only possible to be restricted to this to actually, funny enough, to only this divider or to this or to a field Dorito. So because the only crossroads that are remaining are field crossroads that would fit here. Though it was actually still possible to block the city with the final remaining cow tile to go here, and because there are no city crossroads, but when you are playing the odds are saying that you have a much better chance at saving your city by doing this stuff. And we saw exactly how well that worked, and worked it did for the German. Hi there, Napalm. Glad to see you up so early. Wiseman is with a monastery, which he will not be able to use, in all likelihood. I don't ever see him meepling this anywhere. Probably, I don't know, maybe we go over here. could we actually? I think we could actually even drop a farmer. Now that I think about it, because we definitely want to be able um, uh, to stay afloat with this field. And we have 4 tiles over here, we have 2 tiles over here, we have several curves over here to get a meeple back. He decides not to do that, decides to eliminate an attacking platform to his city, which is an okay decision. But he still has to catch up in points, because the fact is the scoreboard is ruthless. It is 37 to 11, so 26 points ahead is isloun. This city is gonna be netting, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15 to 17 points. So that's going to help, and potentially it might even put yzemaze into a point lead soon after, but not yet. Isloun likely, I say, will be blocking, but why not do this with an extra point on your monastery is my question. I don't quite get that. I mean, like, he wanted the extra city on his field, but that extra city is actually not that strong, because because at the moment, or at the time, he did not have any meeples to place a third farmer, and that is a really key thing when you start new cities like this. You kind of have to have extra meeples in your hand for to drop the third farmer. But maybe he was counting on getting a meeple back before he gets to finish the city, which he did. Now that Yze was able to also finish this small project at the bottom, and got his 15 points on the board. Something that the German could do is to go here and try to block this road into a dagger, which there are no more remaining, because the RCP rep just used the final dagger over here. And also, in case isloun does not manage to get a defense, the German, what he could do is he could also go with like a straight road and simply restrict this to a crossroad, but also drop a farmer, which is exactly what he's going to try and do. He's going to try to create that field attacking opportunity. Unfortunately so, isloun will be able to get a defense going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with still 3 regular curves remaining, one of which the German snatches for himself immediately. Let's see, there are 2 field Doritos to go on this square for the for isloun, which both come with a shield, so that's a nice extra stuff there. There's also now 2 remaining regular curves, and potentially in some cases we might actually also use a splitter here if we are in a dire need of getting meeples back. But this, as of right now, is also a much better use of a splitter or a divider as well. Welcome, Arbat and Ian. Good morning to you as well. It's recognizing that this field, this 15-point field, which is going to grow, is a very key feature in this game, makes a bit of an unusual route for himself to the field and tries to connect through a starting tile or through a regular uh, straight road, which this I think was the last starting tile actually, or was it? 1, 2, 3. Yes, it was. No, so the last starting tile. So no starting tiles here anymore, only the straight roads are good for him now, or potentially he could also get, let's say, a crossroad here and then a curve here. And unfortunately, isloun does not get a blocking tile, which will absolutely be not cool in his head, as that is the a sort of a rare situation when you actually just want a curvy tile, a regular, not so valuable curvy tile to use as a blocking. Instead, he will be taking 4 points here or 4 points here. But 4 points is certainly going to be the move for isloun to take from somewhere. You'd say in the meanwhile takes one of the 2 remaining filled Doritos, so only 2 tiles remaining for isloun to this square to get a meeple back. And let's see if Yze manages to connect to the field, which he does. He will be -9. This is equal. Actually, it's not equal. It's +2 for Yze at the moment. -7, -4, -6, -3, 6, -10 for Yze for an extra meeple. But that extra meeple could very well be a decisive thing, because that could be used in fighting for this field and maybe even getting a majority on it. But not now, as he connects his second meeple first, of course, and isloun doesn't get the best of tile. I mean, he can connect here, I guess, for 2 points, but then what you gonna do? Because the big issue is that at any moment the German can just go over here and drop a farmer, like he will probably now do, because there is still a regular monastery remaining, so there is one unblockable connection tile. Plus, he can then use any other road tile to connect to this now 18-point field. And he's going to go for it, unsurprisingly so. And isloun doesn't get really not a useful tile. What isloun needs to get some alleviation to this situation is either the Dorito or he oh or he can just simply try and outscore his opponent, but he goes for something that looks to be a little risky connection platform. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, there are two tiles that go there. There is the regular monastery and there is a vanilla. So at least he now has a chance to tie the field, and tying the field would actually be enough. Unfortunately for isloun, in the meanwhile, the German has managed to get all 3 regular curves for himself. So this meeple will never be coming back to Ilya's hand. And well, the faith is now placed pretty much on getting the 75% chance of connecting to this now like a 24-point field with this third farmer of black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 24-point field. And actually, as a matter of fact, even if the German was to get the monastery, it still wouldn't be enough to get him the win like on the spot, given that black connects over here with the with the vanilla. Something that does work for the German in terms of racking up points is being able to drop a 6-point farmer on this small field over here if he happens to get his hands on one of the 2 field crossroads. isloun gets the vanilla, so the field is now tied. It is now tied, and now comes a bit of a more critical decision for the German, as he needs to find a way to again somehow catch up in points. And it's gonna be rather difficult, I have to say, because black is plus 15 plus 22 plus 20 plus 17 on the plus 17 with everything on the board. So yeah, I think it's gonna come down to the field, or maybe there's an option for Utse to actually go to do something like this, take the city, get it finished, and then get the monastery, but he decides not to go for that. Instead, he takes that option away from both players, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, no, wait. I think there's still one Dorito. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's still one Dorito with a road Dorito, I believe. No, a field Dorito. Is that so? What? Wait, what? That can't be. 1, 2. No, that is the case. That is the case. There is still one field Dorito. So now... Oh, okay. Okay. So what the German has done here is he has prepared this spot for scoring as well as the monastery, and he does get the monastery, and he gets the 5-point move of the small field here, but unfortunately he's not able to get away with the 14-point city that he laid for himself, or tried to lay down for himself. And on top of that, isloun also gets his 4th meeple to the field and overruns the field, and that is definitely way more than enough to win this game. With a 27-point field, it wouldn't have even mattered if Utse had had been able to get this 14-point city all for himself. So really nice stuff from Black here with the field play. Noticing that when there was two big scoring opportunities, and he doesn't have a tile to use either of them, what he can do is he can create some alternative variables on this game by actually attacking the field. So he will now kind of have four useful tiles. Like he can either get uh, either of the two field crossroads, or he can get the high scoring tiles just to be able to make sure that the German doesn't get them. And because he was quite sizably in the lead, then as long as he manages to either connect or maybe catch both of these high scoring moves, it's most likely going to be enough to win. Most likely. It wasn't 100% guarantee to win, but it was something that was certainly doable from the perspective of myself, and also obviously from the perspective of Ilya. yzemaze gambling for Dorito, indeed. One 0-1 starts the match for isloun. And we'll see what is the response of yzemaze. Unfortunately, yzemaze immediately loses his starting player advantage. And not for the sake of points, but because there was a discard of a tile, a discard of the quad city tile. And that means that usually when you would be the starting player, as the starting player, not only do you get the first tile of the game, but you also an additional advantage that you get is you get to place the final tile. And when you get to place the final tile, it's much easier to actually strategize your final moves, because you can more easily calculate like a 50-50 chance out of the two remaining tiles which one you're gonna get, compared to the second player, who is gonna have his penultimate turn when there are still three tiles that you could possibly have as your final tile, and that's gonna be like far more disadvantageous than two tiles. There's a huge difference. So yzemaze not going to be able to get that advantage of getting to play as the final player as well, but he does get the first 4 points, which does work out somewhat well for him. Now what I have to question here for isloun is this crossroad, because he took 2 points like this for an unknown reason, when he could have also taken 2 points over here, which I think is just a very, like, an incredibly basic mistake that I would not expect to see from a caliber of a player who has uh, not only gotten himself all the way to the quarterfinals of the Carcassonne Champions League, but also who managed to represent Israel in the World Championships just last year, which does speak volumes. As you do, of course, have to be a national champion or qualify through other means which are arguably more difficult than being a national champion, at least for some countries. So this is a pretty big mistake. Um, the reason it is a mistake is because it's going to potentially allow yzemaze to build an easy 4-point road whenever isloun gets a city cap, and it's like never gonna be helping isloun unless he direly wants to make the loop himself and connect to this 1-point road, which doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you see the trouble? So some food for thought there for the RCP rep here. Well, in the meanwhile, the board has had some more texture on it. So yzemaze with now 2 monasteries. Um, Diagonal stacking, a bit uh, less optimal than it could be, but still, it is stacking enough. Still very well developed. And we can also see how actually every single city of isloun here is very effectively restricted to a city plus road tile, which is not great news for isloun, as he needs the same type of tiles to everywhere to get his meeples back. And I mean, this is most likely the move that we are gonna see, and we do, just to get like out of harm's way. And it's not the end of the world if our city gets pointed down, because there are still 2 tube dividers remaining like this. So we would be perfectly fine actually still with yellow adding 2 points to us. This one is it's double-edged. On one hand, like, of course, sure, we do get our city finished. We do get a second meeple in our hand, and we get we get 6 points from this, and we get a city on our field. That's great. That's all great. But we also in the process, unfortunately, are finishing our opponent's road, and we are creating this 4-point road, which we which we don't have the better chances to actually use. And isloun disregards this 4-point road, which also works as a platform to get to this field. This is a tragic error. A rather huge mistake, I have to say, on the part of the black player here. Disregarding these 4 points and not removing this wonderful connection to this field, which has so incredibly much potential to grow. And I have to say, really surprisingly, the German isn't even bothered to go to the field with this tile, even though he has a wonderful platform to attack it. Like, isloun only has 1 meeple on it. I don't see how this is not a thing for either player to either take away the platform or to use the platform. This is very weird to see. And I have to say a bit uncharacteristic in a match of this level. Well, surely the German will now be using this platform. Surely. Like it's a wonderful platform. He can also like just go here, but it's not as good because when you go here, you have actually two routes to get to the field. Okay, now he finally uses the platform, and isloun, I I mean at least isloun must have now see that there exists this 4-point road because he sees that the German can easily get to the field with a curve or with a crossroad from the right side. And honestly, could have even taken these 4 points himself because there are still the two dividers, but well, arguably you can use the dividers here, and the dividers are maybe even better over here anyway. So it's not such a big deal. The kind of a big deal is that the German is ahead on the scoreboard and he has an extra meeple in his hand. So yellow is, due to that reason, more likely to actually be the one who is going to go onto the field with the second meeple before isloun. And like when it is a 12-point field with an empty city cap on it, it's gonna be a huge feature in this game. It's gonna play a big part. And I have a feeling that this feature is not going to go down all too well for isloun, especially after this move, which is very, very annoying to deal with as the black player here, because now you need some extra tiles to finish the city. 3 city caps or maybe Dorito. But there are actually not that many Doritos left. Actually, there are only 3 Doritos left, so it's gonna be like likely just city caps for isloun, which isn't great. Isloun trying to take away this field attacking platform, and now Yze does have to think, do you take... Oh, okay. I was about to say, do you take the 4 points here or do you drop the second farmer? Isloun still does not want to take these 4 points. Why is this such a huge deal for him? I mean, it's a good tile to place here, but I mean, this is potentially an 8-point loss for isloun, because if his opponent gets these points, then it's not only 4 points for yellow, but it's also technically 4 points away from black. Oh. Ay, ay, ay. Well, he does get the city just a couple extra points. Yze does get a splitter. Does he attack? I feel like he's gonna attack because he can get this meeple out fairly easily. And then he has the Doritos. Ooh, what a tile for isloun. That is something that he definitely needed to stay in this game. Now, it might be slightly annoying that isloun had to use it over here instead of separating himself from this 3-point part of Yze, but I mean, this should be pretty happy situation for isloun after his opponent just used the other divider to attack it. Now, one thing that is gonna still be a huge issue for isloun is the fact that his opponent is attacking this main field or this field with 2 meeples, and isloun still only has 1 meeple there, and it is 3, 4, 5, 6, 21 point field. So it is something that isloun absolutely needs to attack later on. Not with this tile doesn't really work. The attack is probably gonna be made from here, if possible. The question is, does yzemaze first take out this field attacking platform, or does he finally take the points? He does finally take the points and connect his first farmer there. So now isloun, I think he's gonna go over here because he then has 2 ways to connect to the field. Why? Why would you do that? Why would he do that? Why would he attack from the bottom instead of here where he has 2 ways to connect as opposed to 1? This is just inferior in all ways. No? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 3 curves over here and like a ton of other tiles here. 2 one field crossroad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 straight roads. There was a dagger. All kinds of tiles. And what isloun now has is still the 3 curves, and then he has, had two monasteries. Now he doesn't have monasteries or the curves. There are no dividers. 1, 2, 3, 4. There is 1 vanilla. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 triangle. So 2 tiles now to go here. Okay. Not the best, but it's still the same thing as in the last game. So a 75% chance of actually getting to the field, and he can also just simply drop another farmer here if he so wants to. Or can he? A road monastery for isloun. Do you take 3 points here and create an alternative attacking platform on the field? Maybe 2 points here, or do you add 1 point and hope to get your meeple back? With the crossroad? No, he just takes the 3 points. Simply wants to score as much as possible. He's +2, +3. This is equal +2, +1. So he's +1 if he manages to get a connection on this field. Ah. I think he is gonna go for a third farmer over here. Or over here. I think both will work. Because if he manages to win the field outright, then it'll be really difficult for Yze to win. I'd say actually nearly impossible to win if he doesn't get the equalization to the field. And well, there is the second meeple. So now we still have the 2 tiles to go here, which is great. And Yze will have to use some of his tiles to try and block this square, or he might also just simply try and draw the vanilla and the field Dorito. Let's make one more check that both of those exist. One field Dorito and 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there are no vanillas. Wait, there are no vanillas. This is why we do the checks. There are no vanillas. There is only 1 tile to go here. There's only 1 tile. Do you think the crossroad by isloun above the 1 point mini battle was any better if the field side was pointed to the right? No. Or like, well, it would have been better, but I still wouldn't think it would be a good move. Because it still is going to make his own city construction project more difficult when it doesn't need to be. He can like very simply just keep all his options open and finish it with like any other city cap, but with this, because he doesn't want to finish his opponent's road at the same time. Like when you don't need to provide any additional restriction platforms on your own city, which is in a 1 point winning mini battle against a road, which is like whatever. You don't do that stuff. It's gonna be working out better for you when you have your options open. Because most likely what's going to happen is you're gonna get a city cap and you're gonna get your meeple out, and then you're gonna leave your opponent with a 2 point road, and that's just always a very good thing. You get 6 points, your opponent gets stuck with a 2 point road, has to use some resources to get that away with some other valuable tiles, and you smile and you proceed to win the game. Okay, equal points, equal road, +1 for the monastery, which is negated by this, and -2. And then actually, if both of these players get their third farmer on the field, it will work out great for Yze actually, because he is going to be ahead in points. So this this field Dorito is going to be so crucial for the well-being of isloun. It's dropping also another farmer here just to be able to have like multiple options to connect his farmers, and he also is likely going to force some concession from isloun in the form of adding 2 points to his opponent, because he probably needs to block this connection. Maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are still 2 curves. And the field Dorito. And maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like a straight road or something. Unfortunately, Yze gets the field Dorito. But with 2 remaining curves, isloun can easily actually still win this. He can go, like, for example, over here. He can go over here and drop a ninja farmer, no? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 regular curves, and then some other tile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No straight road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No crossroads. Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because isloun needs to win the field, and that's going to happen by getting the 2 curves. I don't think he has another option, because he can't afford Yze to get a curve here, and also he can't afford a move to block this. So isloun's path to victory is getting those 2 curves, going over here or over here for a ninja farmer, and then get the other curve and win the game, win the field outright, and thus win the game. That's the path for isloun. Is it time for yzemaze to drop the farmer? I think it was a very decent farmer indeed. Like, just to have some insurance that, in case isloun draws this tile, then yzemaze could even, draw both. Could even draw both of the curves and even connect 2 farmers. Plus, when he's ahead like in the scores anyways. Oh, yeah, that's the worst tile for isloun. That doesn't even offer a chance to win this game. Okay, it offers the chance to, like, equalize these 3 points technically, and it's, well, unfortunately, that's right. yzemaze does more wise stuff, doesn't even bother connecting, because he knows that he can just add 1 point to his monastery and block the connection. As a matter of fact, what isloun should have done is, for a couple extra points, as a matter of fact, four extra points, is to go over here and drop a farmer, because he knew that he's going to get a curve, because those were the 2 remaining tiles. There was nothing else in the deck, so he was forced to get a curve. So this is a forced connection on the field, and that would force yzemaze to kind of, like, concede these 3 points instead of just adding 1 point for himself. So it could have made this a bit more tighter. And also, actually, hear me out. Is it crazy to... It's not crazy. Actually, isloun, this triple city might have actually been a mistake. It might have been a mistake, a tragic mistake, because what he could have done is instead simply use this triple city on getting points. So that's -2 from yzemaze, that's +3 for isloun, so that's a 5-point difference there. Then he is going to trust that he gets one out of the two. Um, yeah, one out of the two um, curves, and he is going to get the extra points for the field, because then yzemaze will connect this farmer and will get 3-2 advantage on the field, but then isloun will find a way to use that curve to his advantage to get either a ninja farmer here, or just simply get the like this tile, go over here and force himself to the field. So that's gonna be extra points. As a matter of fact, have I lied totally? I might have. I might have. I actually might have. I might have fumbled. Okay. So if we go over here, we get +5, right? Then yzemaze, instead of actually doing this, he's gonna do it here. So -1 for yzemaze, and then we go over here. We do this. Ah, no, we actually still lose by -2. Oh, well, that's a bummer. Yeah, but was our only win path then to really to get to the... Oh, no, because at the time of this, we still had the field Dorizo, so that's... Yeah, we still had our out. And if we hit that 50-50, we don't necessarily even need to attack the field, no? Yeah, there was definitely a win path there for isloun. Maybe even other than getting the two curves straight up. And likely so. At least if we get the field Dorito. Doesn't happen though. Doesn't happen. And the German ties the match with to 1-1. And it looks like the players are taking a small break at this stage. Well, whilst the players are taking their break, let us actually see what is the truth behind the playoffs for isloun. So not completely undefeated in games in the playoffs. Did lose one game to Portgard, but a 10-2 in the group stage, and so far 3-2 in the playoffs is not a bad ratio of what 13-4 in this very high level tournament. Not bad at all. And for yzemaze, it has been, I believe it was like 9-4 or 9-3 in the group stage. Let's see. 9-3 in the group stage with 4 wins, and then a clean 2-0 for in yzemaze Lord Terrycloth. So 11-4, and then now 1-1 for in this match. So 12-4 for yzemaze. So only one game win less than isloun. Okay, third game on its way, and so far looking quite equal for both. isloun, I reckon, will be going over here, simply expanding his road to 6 points. Probably not gonna be meepling the city because it can be res. What the f is this? Like seriously, what is this? I was about to say probably not gonna be meepling the city because it can be easily restricted to the one and remaining to the one remaining dagger, but instead he indirectly continues his road and makes it easier for yzemaze to get the road for himself as well, whilst still meepling this with the same issue of potentially getting restricted to the one remaining dagger immediately anyway. I cannot fathom what went through isloun's head when he made this move. This doesn't make any sense for me. Like, not a single bit. Like, okay, he probably argued that, you know, he wants to make this road as long as possible, but I mean that's fine, but you actually have to have the road in the first place. You don't. You have this 2-point road over here. It doesn't make sense to continue that road as of right now indirectly and make it easier for your opponent to actually claim most of that road when you don't have it under your control. That it just simply doesn't make sense. isloun keeps making dubious moves and getting away with it. It does indeed look like it. I strongly advise against doing moves like this when you have what seems to be like, you know, a clearly better alternatives. I do not encourage you to try this to try this stuff at home. Okay, get some monastery and look at this road though. I mean, it needs 4 curves, but it is a long road. One which is still not in control of isloun and which can still be claimed by yzemaze at any given point. Okay, I assume we are gonna go here. Yes, we are. yzemaze gonna go over here, and I think he's gonna drop a farmer. I absolutely think he's gonna drop a farmer. It's a great spot for a farmer. It has 3 points. It has a free city cap. I nah nah. Surely not. Uh, it This is field play 101 textbook of how not to play, isn't it? Am I not seeing something? Like as of right now, at least for me, this is this is like the school thing where you have the textbook and then you have the task book, and then Wiseman is now going with the task book without reading the actual textbook. He's like going fuck all, and I'm not leaving any one single pointers here when all that would do of cleaning of the city cap is make Isloun's life more difficult when he would be restricting his own city to a to the two remaining starting tiles. And like, get this, if Isloun strikes like the gold mine here and he gets like a starting tile now, he's gonna go here, he's gonna get to drop another farmer, then Wisemage will have a third city on this field for Isloun. Isloun is gonna get a curve, he's gonna get a majority on this field, and he's gonna do like so much incredibly great stuff for him when Wisemage is just left out crying. What the f is this move? Not good. Not good. Okay, I think we go here. No? We cut off Isloun from claiming any of the continuation of this road, right? Because, I mean, this is what this straight road was for. We... Do we even drop a... Actually, do we drop a farmer here? Oh, God. Oh, God. Look at what happens. It happens exactly like I said it was going to happen. Isloun gets a starting tile. Gets to place his farmer on a 6-point field, which is now getting to 9 points also with the help of his opponent, because he didn't claim the field, instead he claimed some useless piece of 1-point city. God damn it. God damn it. You don't do stuff like this when you have so much better stuff to do. Ah. 2 points here, or here, one or the other. I mean, this is really bad because it takes away this field attacking possibility for Wisemaze, and it's going to endanger his city to be susceptible to a block of a dagger. So pretty sure we have to forego these 3 points and go for the 2-point move here or here. Or this. I mean, this is also acceptable. As a matter of fact, this was only a 1-point move because it gives a point to the monastery of Isloun. So this is totally fine. This is fine. And we also restrict this road to a crossroad. One thing that would have been definitely avoidable as Isloun had we only not done you know, shit like this. It's also not dropping a farmer on the monastery over here. Yeah, that's also something that is rather curious, given that there was this platform for isloun to actually just get simply a curve and connect to the main 9-point field, and to be like and to make this to make this one big field, and to be like actually really dangerous. And he had like, you know, two meeples to work with. It's not like yzemaze would have had to use his one and only meeple for that matter, or you know, for that field. But I mean, okay, we can live with this. We can live with this because we can still uh, probably get some other possibilities to attack this field. Even if this connection was to be taken away, maybe we can work something out with maybe like, let's say, a divider here, and then this city gets completed, and then we get a platform to jump from here to the field, something like that. With 31 tiles remaining, I mean, it's totally possible that we can still get stuff for uh, that we can get some other attacking opportunities to this field. Again, this is I can't say that this is a good move. It's not a good move. First of all, first of all, there is this issue that isloun had only one meeple in hand. He meepled at 1 point city. When yzemaze also only has one meeple in hand, and yzemaze had two open 1 point cities, one in which was and still is in a pretty vulnerable spot. Not anymore. Why do we meeple this 1 point city? This. Why do we do this stuff all the time? Oh, we are like trying to actively make bad moves for some unknown reason. This is really heartbreaking to watch. Like isloun is kind of like actively trying to give away his advantage in this game. Like we don't need to meeple this city. Like if we are afraid of leaving empty city caps, we can simply go like, for example, over here and not meeple anything. Leave two city caps open, so that if our opponent is so insisting of cleaning out city caps, then he can clean out one when still having two open 1 point cities, which I think would be a mistake to actually clear out a city cap anyway. But even in that case, if he does, then we still have that other city cap to take. And also, building up this city does not look like a good idea when your opponent is the one with the meeple majority. No? Because, you know, if they feel dubious enough, you might even see yzemaze going over here, to try and connect to the city and then even finish the city. And then because we added the city cap to that city, it might even get finished, and we might have just signed off our own death sentence. Yeah, on top of that, isloun city cap wasn't even safe to take. Like, it was immediately susceptible to a harassment, to a block, to a restriction. So even that doesn't work out in these calculations. It's incredible how many mistakes you can do in such a short time. Uh, and it's also now blocked. On top of all that, it's also blocked. There are no daggers. What have you done, isloun? What have you done? yzemaze with a fantastic move, by the way. It accomplishes so many things at the same time. It blocks this city, first of all. First and foremost, it blocks this city. Second of all, it connects this 3-point farmer to the 9-point field. Thirdly, it provides an opportunity for yzemaze to get now a curve, which there are still so many remaining. I think four. Yeah, four curves remaining to go over here and to get to this 9-point field, which is going to be expanding to now 12 points. And oh boy, isloun is in massive trouble after his very very questionable city cap move. Like, just that one mistake has put isloun into a horrible position. Out of a very good one. He had no reason to start risking for 4-point cities. No reason. But he did. And he's paying potentially the ultimate price in the form of losing this game. Now leaving city caps, because that is the only thing he can do. yzemaze also catching these vanillas, or actually the final vanilla that went into this square, and this city is now not going to be completed, which means that the isloun is not going to get his meeples out of the city. The only place he can get a meeple out is this one, or from this with like 2 curves, and neither is actually like that powerful, because when he does not have a meeple in his hand, if he gets the crossroad, he cannot claim this road, which is going to be incredibly bad for isloun, because then most likely yzemaze is going to get this 8-point road upon connecting to the 12-point field, and it's even further going to increase the rapid downfall of isloun in this game. Something that yzemaze could do is exactly go over here and claim a 6-point field, and then have his options open to actually also connect to this 12-point field with the second farmer from the top, which he is likely going to be doing now. Go here, Exactly. Finally, isloun gets his meeple back, but it seems to be way too late. Like, what's he gonna do with it? Okay, there might still be a small chance of hope here. So let's say that isloun, as he has now been doing, he draws the rest of the curves, which is not gonna be the case. It's gonna go straight out the window, that plan. yzemaze gets his hands on a curve, is gonna go over here, is gonna connect isloun with one out on this square. No, two outs, because there's still a road monastery to equalize the field. I'm gonna say equalize because I at this stage also assume that this second farmer is getting to the field, although it's actually only a difference of 3 points, so not that dangerous, but oh boy. yzemaze, I am gonna have to say that he is definitely gonna be going over here, dropping a farmer. Still 2 tiles that go here. He's gonna want to make sure that he doesn't lose this field, because isloun could potentially go over here, drop a third farmer, then get a curve and then a road monastery, and then actually, win this field still outright with plus 14, plus 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, it would put him at plus 8, which potentially still wouldn't be enough, but this will essentially just secure the field for yzemaze of not being able to lose it, and it's going to secure this game as well. And all that achieved through so many mistakes made in this game. So many mistakes. Does isloun even, is there a connection tile? There must be some sort of, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. There isn't even a connection tile. What? Just isloun making the final mistakes just because he can. I don't think he even had a potential platform to get to this field anymore with a straight road. Here. No, I don't think he did. So just, the final nail in the coffin for isloun. I mean, I gotta say this was a very, very deserved loss for the Israeli. After a series of really bad moves. This one, not continuing his road. This one, actually meepling the city, I think it was also somewhat bad due to the danger levels that were included. Well, this one obviously just a clear mistake. This tube divider, god awful, I have to say, god awful. And then he just had to discard so many city caps, so many points, so much potential, because he spent his final meeple and it ended up being a disastrous decision. Why could I meeple the road as he connected? Over here. I think he could have, yes. I think he could have, because he was never going to like lose the field anyway. Or like, yeah. Yeah, I think he very well could have just went for a meeple on the road anyway, because even if he like loses this 12-point field, he's still gonna have this 9-point field, so that's not gonna be a huge issue. He's still gonna be ahead in points, and he's gonna get the points from this road. If isloun wants to get um, any any meeples back, the field crossroad is gonna be the only way to do that. But that also gets 2 meeples for yzemaze. But likely black is still gonna have to do it because he needs to do something marvelous, like connecting these fields together and actually getting a majority on that field with a third farmer, and even that would likely not even be enough, because yzemaze would at that point just have a surplus of meeples to use everywhere. So there potentially might not even have been a combo of stuff that isloun could have made after yzemaze meeples that road and gets the additional 8 points. Or at least his combination of tiles and sequence of tiles would be limited to, I don't know, to to a number that can be counted with one hand when there are like, I don't know, 15 tiles remaining, which is ridiculously bad percentage points to win. So yzemaze gets the lead 2-1, and we now have a match ball. And the players are off a line. Hold up. Is this a... Okay, looks like only one of the players is online. So a couple of minute break again for these players. Much needed for isloun, as he needs to get his stuff together. He's been taking very non-necessary risks with a lot of his moves. They agreed to continue this evening. Okay, well, as their defense, I mean, Uze did mention the like yesterday on stream that isloun might not be able to play the whole best of 5 in a row, so at 19 UTC. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to check that from Uze, and I might catch the rest of their match this evening on stream or not. I'm not entirely sure. They wrote it in the game chat. I have no doubts. Unfortunately, I was too quick with myself and did not get to see that. So yeah, I will confirm that from Uze, but if that is the situation, then we will continue their match uh, probably in the evening, and I will also, of course, rename this stream as like, I don't know, part 1 out of 2 or something. And we will wrap it up here. We will continue with streaming today at here at 1200 UTC with Alexei versus Rabbit Rain, and there we will be seeing a full best of 5 according to all odds. And then later in the evening we'll catch the rest of yzemaze and isloun. So 1200 UTC, be sure to get here again, for the action has not stopped for today. I thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I will be seeing you all again soon. Bye for now.